Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to plan for week number 49, which is December 2nd through December 8th. And we are going to plan in my letter size weekly hourly planner. These are my own inserts. I'm using Happy Planner discs and a Happy Planner cover. Let's look at what happened last week. Isn't this gorgeous? I got this washi tape at a thrift store. It was brand new, unopened, and it was like a pack of 4 unopened washi tapes for maybe $2. It was fantastic. And this was beautiful. And it goes very well with the theme, this dreamy, starry theme that I did for this week. So this was the week of November 25th through December 1st. It was Thanksgiving week, and I was a little busy. I counted 18 clients at the time that I scheduled. I had 2 cancellations because of Thanksgiving. One was my fault. He told me that he was traveling for the holiday and that he wouldn't be here. And I just forgot and I left him on the calendar. So that's why he's here. And then another person had a fever or something, I think. So they canceled the day before their session. But even though I had 2 cancellations, I had 2 additions. Wait, that doesn't make sense because I counted 18. Okay, wait. So how many did I have originally? Yeah, I had 18 people originally. And then after cancellations and after additions, I had 18. I counted wrong. I counted before filming so that I could save time, but I counted wrong and I ended up wasting time instead. 2 cancellations, but 2 additions for a net change of 0. So 18 total people. For this week, I'm going to use the Happy Planner sticker book called Stargazer. It's really similar to last week. Last week was also, it was a watercolor. It was a watercolor theme, but that I thought had a star theme too. It came with some clear star stickers that I put down here. There might have even been some astrological, like zodiac sign stickers in there too, but it was also kind of spacey themed, but it was mostly watercolor. And this really reminds me of that because also star themed, but there's some watercolor type. Well, let's do a flip through. Isn't that beautiful? So a lot of similarities, right? I even saw some quote stickers in here that are identical to the ones that I used in last week. I used one that says dream down here, down the sidebar, and I saw a dreamer sticker here. Kindness and a kindness sticker. There's also references to magic, which I love. I love anything magic themed. And these colors, they look like they're supposed to be galaxies, or yeah, they look like galaxies in the background. They really remind me of the watercolor artwork on these stickers here. And here we have some crescent moons, and we have crescent moons here. I think I saw some other crescent moons too. Yeah, here, some crescent moons for to-do stickers and stuff, right? So very very cool themed like last week. Purples, blues, greens. This past week had pinks in there too. I didn't see a lot of pink in here, if any. No, not really. There's some lilac, so like some very pinkish purpley colors, but no pinks. So it's going to be beautiful. Let's take my inserts out. So a couple months ago, I remember thinking to myself and saying in a video that I was going to stop editing my videos so much because they were taking way too long for me to edit. I was spending a long time cutting out me using filler words like or me not saying anything, like me just thinking about what I wanted to do on my paper. And it was taking me hours and hours and hours to edit a video down from an hour to like half an hour. So I recommended to you all to just change the playback speed on my videos, to move it up to 1.25 or even 1.50 and just listen to me quicker, because my videos were going to be longer and they were going to be slower and longer, because I really don't want to invest that much time into editing myself out so much. And so I told myself I was going to stop editing as much as I was, and I was not able to do that. I found myself still editing myself a lot. So what I want to do is I want to talk quicker. I want to talk faster, but I also worry that I'm going to sound like I'm rushing. And I am certainly not rushing. When I'm doing this, when I'm planning and decorating, I'm taking my time because it's what I do for fun, it's what I do for relaxation, and I'm never going to plan or decorate in a hurry. I'm always going to do it when I feel like I have the time to do it. So if I go out of my way to try to talk quicker in order for my videos not to be so slow, then I'm going to feel like I'm rushing. And then if I'm rushing, I'm going to feel like I'm enjoying myself less. So we'll see. So I have a bunch of my functional sticker books at my office, my off-site office. And this book does not have a lot of labels. Here's some. For my clients, I like to use the skinnier labels, not the bigger boxy ones. So I have literally 6 labels I can use. And I have other Happy Planner books that are more functional, that have more boxes in them, but I left them all at my work office, my offsite office. I'm home here. This is my home office. So I don't have any labels to use for my clients. So I'm wondering if something I can do for this week is just write on the paper. And you guys, that really is my preferred way of planning, is to use my pen right on the paper. I think it's kind of silly. It's redundant to write on a piece of paper and then take that piece of paper and stick it on top of another piece of paper. I think that's silly, to be honest. It makes a planning session look super pretty, but it's also a little redundant. But the only reason I've been doing that is because I have a lot of sticker books that I want to go through, that I want to use up. So that's why I started actually writing on my sticker labels rather than write on the paper. But I don't have my labels today, so I think I'm going to write on my paper. Let's use I have a purple pen that I have in a micron, this one. Let's use that purple micron pen. And let's start writing down what is going on for this week. This is 28-pound Staples brand paper. And it's smooth and really white, bright white. 98. It's 98 white. So it's really bright. I love it. I love how smooth it is. I figured out after trying to use an Erin Condren planner earlier this year that I do not like textured paper. Even though the Erin Condren planners are nice, thick 80-pound paper, they're also very textured and toothy, and I didn't like it. I also didn't like that it was off-white. So that's a big reason I am no longer using that planner, and I just started making my own inserts. And I am choosing to use really white, smooth, thicker paper, 28. 28 isn't super thick. I would actually prefer something even thicker than that. So this week, December 2nd, I have a client on Monday at 4:30. On Tuesday, I have a bunch of clients. It's a busy day. I have a client at 10, 12, 1, 2, 3:30, 4:30, and 6. Holy moly. Why did I do that to myself? It's because I can't say no to people. That's why. So we have someone at 10. Everybody on Tuesday is virtual except for my 3:30 of, I wrote her on the wrong slot. I do have a purple, oh my goodness. I do have a purple friction pen, but I don't know where it is. It's probably in my computer bag. So I'm using this purple micron pen that is not erasable. So everyone here is virtual except for my 3:30. My 3:30 is in person. Let's put a little sticker next to it to make sure that I remember that. We have these tiny, tiny little asterisk circle stickers in the Stargazer planner. So that's super cool. On Wednesday, it's a little better. I have someone at 9, 10, and 6. On Thursday, it's another busy day. I have someone at 10, 1:30, 3, 4, and 6. On Friday, I have someone at 10, 11:30, 2:15, 3:30, and 5:30. And we have some mix of in-person and virtual clients on that Friday. My 10 o'clock, they're a family and they are in person. My 11:30 is virtual. My 2 is also virtual. My 2 is in person. My 10 a.m. family is in person. My 2 p.m. individual is in person. My 3 p.m., my 3:30 is virtual, and my 5:30 is virtual. And on Saturday, I have a 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., and 4:30 p.m. And everybody here is in person. I don't need to indicate that on here because by default, my Saturdays are in person. By default, my Fridays should be in person, but I do squeeze in some virtual clients because I just don't have, I do have a demand for in-person Friday evenings, but I don't have a demand for in-person Friday during the day. Not really, not as much as I do in the evening. So I do end up mixing and matching my Fridays. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Let me take a quick peek at my EHR calendar to make sure that I'm not forgetting anybody. I did forget somebody. I have someone on Friday at 4:30 in person. We had scheduled that over text, and I didn't immediately put it on my calendar after confirming with them through text. So that's pretty shitty of me. I have not been well, you guys. Cognitively, I've been really messing up a lot. I've been making a lot of mistakes. And I think it's because of stress, ADHD, and stress making my ADHD worse. I think it's that. I went to my family doctor a couple weeks ago to ask for a prescription for ADHD. And that turned into a whole thing that I will tell you about in a moment. This is what we have client-wise. I do have a couple things that are a little different, that are not client related, that are work related but not client related. And I will use some label boxes that I have in my Stargazer book for that. Since it's only a couple, we can use this box here for group supervision on Thursday. We can use this box over here for my group supervision on Friday. It's only 2 of us in group supervision on Fridays, so we only do an hour. On Thursdays, it's usually a few of us. It's usually at least 3 of us, so this one is an hour and a half. Although I can't tell you how many times I've showed up to group supervision on Thursdays and been the only person there. That happens a lot, actually. And when that happens, we do make it an hour. What else is going on? Not client related. On Mondays, I have been going to lunch with my best friend. We've been doing that for a few weeks in a row. It's been really great. So I don't know exactly what time, but it's always for lunch. So late morning, early afternoon. Lunch with BFF. And I think that's it. I don't have any birthdays. I think I do have to run payroll on one of these days. I think it's Wednesday. And it usually shows up on my Google Calendar, and I'm noticing just now that my HR software is not synced up to my Google Calendar, but it used to be. As of last week, it was. So I'm going to have to look into that because I don't want to forget to do that. I'm going to put a little note on Wednesday for running payroll because I'm pretty sure it's Wednesday that I have to do that. My cutoff is Wednesday. I can do that before Wednesday, but I think Wednesday is my cutoff. Okay, so that's everything. That's all my work events and client sessions. So now we just have to decorate. So let me tell you guys what happened at my doctor's appointment for ADHD. I had to go in person, which was a pain in the butt, to let them know that I had been diagnosed with ADHD and that I need medication. And they needed my eval, my psych eval, which I knew they needed. And I had the clinical psychologist who evaluated me, I asked him to send them my summary, and he did. I signed a release form, I gave him the fax number, and he sent it over, and he confirmed with me that he did, and I know that he did. So of course I go into my actual appointment and they don't have it. So they had to reach out to him and request it again. For my sidebar, I don't have any long sidebar stickers except for these. These are the longest ones I have. So I'm going to use one, maybe I'll use two of them down the side here. Let me look for some washi tape. And I'm going to use my sidebar sticker. I'm going to use this blue one. So I did a urine drug test at my doctor's office at the time of my appointment. And they sent in a lab order for another drug screen at a lab site. I thought they were going to do a blood draw for the drug test because they did a urine one at the doctor's office, but they didn't. My lab order was for another urine drug screen. And I don't know where I am on in the process now of getting an actual script for Adderall or for anything that can help me. So I need to reach out to my doctor's office to do that. So what am I going to use down here for my tasks and to-dos? They have these big square stickers here that say, I'm feeling, : and there's an option for happy, okay, or down, and a blank space for maybe a little mini journaling, I guess. So that's pretty cool. I think that can be a good sticker to put down here at the bottom for task. And I can just cover up the prompt with a washi tape or a washi sticker. Let me do that because I'm never going to use these stickers for the prompts that they're made for. So let's do that. Yeah, so that's where I am with that, for getting medication for my ADHD because you guys, right now, my struggle with ADHD has gotten to a point that it's negatively impacting my day-to-day functioning because I am making a lot of mistakes at work. I'm scheduling people and forgetting to write it down or forgetting to put them in the calendar. And that has been really bad. It has been very embarrassing and it negatively impacts me financially for sure. There's been a couple times that I have forgotten about a session that for some reason I didn't put on the calendar, but I end up showing up anyway because maybe I'm already at my desk in front of my computer and I get a notification letting me know someone popped into my Zoom room. So then I'm like, oh shit, I had somebody and they weren't on the calendar, but they showed up. It's a good thing that I'm here. And so I'm here for the session. And there's been a couple times where I am not at my desk, I'm not at my computer, I'm doing something else, but I get an email notification letting me know that someone walked into my Zoom room. And then I have to scurry to get to my computer and do my session. And, thank goodness I have been, at least I've been home for that. I haven't been out and about running errands or something. It's not that I'm a shitty therapist, I swear. I am good at what I do. I am hardworking and I'm responsible. But there's been those couple of times where my ADHD brain has really caused something detrimental to happen business-wise. I don't like that I placed the sticker a little too far up. And I have a feeling that yanking it off and putting it back down again might not be worth the trouble. Oh, actually, it's not that sticky. So yeah, let me change the placement of this a little bit. And the busier I get, the more stressed out I get, the more that my cognitive functioning and my memory is impacted, and the more mistakes I make. So that needs to stop. That needs to, at the very minimum, get better. And I need medication for that. There are other things I can do that is not medication. A lot of people have ADHD and they do not take medication for it for one reason or another. And I feel like I try to do the best I can. It's a big reason I do this. I do planning, paper planning. It helps me stay on top of what I need to do. And you guys saw a few minutes ago an example in real time where my writing clients down, putting pen on paper, physically writing my schedule down, it helped me remember, oh, there is something going on that I'm not putting down here. And then I looked into it, and it was a client that I scheduled via text messaging that I hadn't put down electronically. Yeah, this helps a lot, but it's not enough. I'm still messing up a lot, and that's just work, you guys. I am being negatively impacted by my ADHD in a whole bunch of other ways. I'm still to do my dissertation that I have not been able to work on for almost 2 years. 2 years. Yeah, so I need to get my shit together. I thought that it was a lack of motivation. I also have anxiety. I also have depression. So I think lack of motivation can be a factor. And it could also be a combination of it all. So I'm going to email. Oh shit, this is very crooked. I like how not sticky these stickers are. So I'm going to email my doctor's office and ask what's going on with that. For this awkward space in here between these two stickers, I'm going to put a decorative sticker down. This clear sticker here says, enjoy the simple things in life. Nice. Let's use this washi tape here to cover up the prompt in the big purple box. I started reading a new book this week, and it's so good. I am so happy I found this book. And you know how I found it? When I went to LabCorp for my drug screening, I go to the same LabCorp office every time. I go to the LabCorp inside of my local hospital down the road here. And it's this tiny little office, and there's never more than 2 people working. It's usually 1 person working, and every once in a while there's 2 people working. When I went last week for my drug screening, there was 1 person working, and that person is the person I remember from earlier in the year, who, when I went in for some lab work back in the springtime, there were 2 ladies working that day, and one was drawing my blood, and the other person I think was on break because she was sitting at the desk reading a book. And she had this huge, it looked like a 500, 600 page book opened up on the desk in front of her, and she was leaning over. How would this look? Yeah, I'll do this one. And she was leaning over, reading her book like very intently. And I remember thinking, wow, like that's a huge book. I wonder what she's reading. And I asked her, I said, that is a huge book. It must be really good. And she was like, yes, it's fantastic. And then we started talking about it. She told me what it was called and everything. And you know what it turned out to be? It turned out it was not A Court of Thorns and Roses. It was The Throne of Glass. She was reading the Throne of Glass series. And that is how my journey into fantasy really started. It was like in February or March or something. I'm going to use this washi tape down the side here. And so when I went in for my drug screening last week, she was working, and I was on my way out, and I said, oh, before I leave, I want to ask you, what what have you been reading lately? And she told me about her current book, and I started reading it a few days later after I finished the book I was reading before that. And it is so good, you guys. I have to tell you about it. It is called, I've been reading my Kindle books on an old Google Pixel phone. It's a Google Pixel 3 XL. I was using this phone as my regular cell phone, I think in 2019 or something like that. Yeah, 2019. And at that time, I think this phone might have been like 1 year, like it had come out 1 year before that, maybe 2018. And it's a really good phone. I'm still using it, but I'm only using it for Kindle reading. This book is called The Serpent. Let me look at the full title. The Serpent and the Wings of Night, The Crowns of Neoxia novel. The Nightborn Duet Book 1 by Carissa Broadbent. And this is the cover art. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, it's a fantastic book. I really do recommend it. I want to put something down here, something decorative. Maybe another one of these clear stickers that I used over there on the right hand side. What about one that says, believe in all of your dreams? Beautiful. I could put another label box up there at the top where I can write the week that it is that I'm planning for. And I could probably I'll do one of these boxes here, and I will overlap the sidebar sticker just a little bit. Is that it? Is that everything I'm doing? Let's take this little box and stick it down here on Sunday, at the bottom of Sunday. And that is where we can write how many clients I scheduled. Let's see. 26. Holy crap. That's a lot. A therapist working full-time tends to schedule, I'm speaking in very general terms here, you guys. I don't want you to go to your to your therapists and be like, so you only see these many people and you think that's full-time, or if you're a therapist and you see 30 people a week and you're sitting there thinking Daniela only sees 20 people a week and she thinks she's busy. It's just everybody's different. So what did I count? 26 people? I have to recount that. Yeah, I counted 26 on my paper. Let me double check how many I have on my electronic calendar. Yeah, that's 26 people on my EHR calendar and my Google calendar, so it must be right. That's a lot. A lot of therapists who consider themselves having a full caseload and are trying to work full-time hours, meaning at least 40 hours a week, 40 plus hours a week, will probably schedule somewhere between 20 and 25 people a week, with the expectation that at least a couple of them are going to cancel or no show, bringing their full case count for the week down closer to 20. That ends up being a minimum of a 40-hour work week when you take into account the documentation that needs to happen for every session, the communications back and forth between the therapist and their clients, and any phone calls that therapists need to do to coordinate care. So maybe with another provider of their client or with insurance companies. And it also includes supervision. Most therapists will have at least 1 hour of supervision a week. Some will have 2 if they have individual and group supervision. If they are not the ones being supervised, they might be the ones providing the supervision. So that will add an hour or 2. If all 26 people show up, that's a week that by the end of I'm going to feel burnt out. Yeah, so now all I have left to do is I'm going to migrate over my to-do tasks from the previous week onto this week. I need to date the top, and I need to write on here the week that it is and the week number that it is. I feel like I want to put a little bit more decoration on here. So how about always be bold and brave. That's crooked. Choose love down here. That's also crooked. And we can do, this says, always see the good. Be true to you. A to-do sticker that has a crescent moon on it. That can go there. And I'll do this one. It's also a to-do sticker that has a crescent moon on it, and I'll put it over here. Now it's kind of bothering me that it's right underneath this sticker here. So I will move this sticker to here. And we'll do this sticker that says, be kind to yourself. We'll put this over here towards the weekend. Oh no. Okay. That one wants to go down just like that. And what else? Let's do some stars just randomly placed. I'm going to go over my dad's on Sunday for lunch, and that'll be around 1 o'clock. He goes to church most Sundays, and he gets home from church around 1:15, and that's around the time that I meet up with him. But I think we're going to go to the mall for some Chinese. Okay, this is what we have. What do you think? I think that certainly some stickers are crooked. For some reason, the clear stickers, I could not pull them back up without taking paper with them. The paper stickers were easy to relocate, but not the clear ones. So there's that. Yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Feel free to let me know anything that you think, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.